analyst, Professor Sethulego Matebesi. It's great to talk to you. Thanks for coming on, sir. I want to ask, and just ask it bluntly, because the President ended his address there by congratulating provincial officials about the progress and the improvements they've made across the Northwest. I'm not sure what the President is referring to, but in your experience, these kinds of visits, do they bear any fruit?
Good afternoon, Michelle, and good afternoon to the viewers. Yes, I often say any engagement that is aligned with our democratic principles, we should applaud. And I mean, we should applaud our national government who is embarking on all these exercises where they consult or interface with provincial officials and municipal officials, but that's where it ends. For me, this is yet once again window dressing. It's a public relations exercise, because what needs to happen, if your municipal manager does not perform, there should be due diligence, action should be taken, accountability. And that does not happen. So a visit where speeches are delivered will not make any significant changes, because the fundamental problems that needs to be addressed, incompetent appointments, lack of political will to address the root causes of lack of service delivery are not being addressed by these kind of visits. So for me, it will be business as usual in terms of the challenges that the people in Northwest and particularly in the Chobotla municipality will face. They will continue to face those challenges.
It's a glorified photo opportunity, Prof. That's certainly what it sounds like. I mean, the President, in his opening remarks before going into that meeting with members of the council in the Northwest, spoke to journalists, and this was a quote that I wrote down from the President, which I think is very telling. The President says, as we go to elections next year, all political parties will deploy capable leaders. Now, I don't know about you, Prof, but I thought that's what we were doing all along.
Yeah, it's a long-winded, it's a far-fetched dream, because yes, there are municipalities that are doing well, there are government entities that are doing well, but yet another important aspect that a president also touched on, you've got Northern Cape and a province like Northwest with all these mining companies, all these mineral resources, and yet we've got this province, our municipalities battling. But the issue of hiring people with the requisite skills, we all know that is in the hands of politicians. And as long as we allow politicians, actually provide them a license to ruin, they will continue to do that. And this is not something that I thumbsuck. This comes out of credible reports on an annual basis from our Auditor General reports on provinces and even municipalities to say we cannot manage our finances. And year on and year out, we talk about improvement. I don't know what improvement are we talking about. After 30 years, we can't provide clean water to certain communities, and yet we can't take action against those who are supposed to do that. Action, consequence management should be a daily occurrence, and that's the way that we will be able to improve service delivery, enhance governance within local municipalities and even at provincial level. But that's
Prof,
not going to happen as long as you've got all this.
Prof, I want to try and squeeze in one more question because we're out of time, and I'm glad you've talked about the issue of accountability, because the President also says he wants to be hardcore when it comes to accountability. That's another quote from him. He says, I want to infuse a culture of real accountability. If that was the case, Professor Matebesi, would there be anyone left in President Cyril Ramaphosa's cabinet?
There will be very few public representatives or even leaders at all levels, at provincial and even at local government level, because we do have a huge challenge in that regard.
Professor, let me thank you for your time. Professor Sethulego Matebesi is a political analyst, just trying to get you some kind of analysis on the President's visit in the Northwest there. Of course, Daytime Update will also be tracking that story, and that's where we say goodbye to you from me and the Newsfeed AM team.